Hello everybody. So it is just 3 days until me and my wife hit the Appalachian Trail. We are going to be hiking from Georgia to Maine in just around 4.5 months. So we are going to be trying to travel relatively fast and light. And so in anticipation of that, I figured I would share with you some of my gear that I'm going to be bringing on the trail. Actually, all of my gear that I'm bringing on the trail. So here is my pack that I'm going to be bringing on the trail. It's set up for the first few days of the trail, about 3.5 days worth of food, and till our first re-ration in Helen in around day 5, picking up some stuff in Neal Gap as well. So about 3.5 days of food in my pack right now. First things first, let's talk about the pack. This is the Mountain Laurel Designs Exodus. It is the DCF version, means Dyneema Composite Fabric. This is their new one, which is a little more durable, a little heavier, but I cut a bunch of the webbings off, and to help make it a little more waterproof, I also seam sealed some of the edges around their seam tape that they already put on their seams to make it a little more waterproof as well. And with that, I really like this pack. It's the perfect balance, in my opinion, of light while also being pretty durable. Now, I haven't tested it too much, but I have gone on some smaller trips with it, and I really like it, so it's good. Now, let's get to the stuff that's in the pack. So first things first, water bottles. I love the Smart water bottles. Again, that perfect balance between being durable, but also being really light. I use one with a flip cap, and one always filled right here on my shoulder strap, and having a backup back here in the kangaroo pouch. I love to mark them so I know they're mine, as well as half-liter mark. So that's what that tape's for. Love them, they're great. Let's keep going. This is my butt pad or sit pad. Really nice, I love this. I know a lot of people out there love their sit pads, and I'm one of them. I just sort of made mine custom out of some excess foam I had lying around from a Thermarest closed cell foam pad. Great. I also use this actually as a pillow, so I'll pad it with some clothing under it or above it, or I'll just use it by itself, folded up and rested. So that's nice. So I use this for a lot of different reasons, or different times. Let's keep going. One of my favorite pieces of gear is the Gossamer Gear long handled bamboo spoon. It's great. I love it. I've been using this one actually for a very long time now, and I just don't like the feel of titanium on my teeth. So bamboo I really like, and I love the long handle. Also, something we use in the Tahoe Rim Trail is bear hanging kit. This is just some slick line from Z-Packs with a little rock sack and a carabiner in it. Pretty light. We use the PCT method to hang our food up at night, and it's worked just fine in heavy bear country out in the Tahoe Rim Trail, and we're expecting it to work really well as well as in the AT. And if you do it right, I think bear hangs can still be effective. You just have to know how to do them, and we've had a lot of practice with them. So, all right, let's keep going. Got some sunglasses for those sunny days in the balds. All right, I have my Z-Packs rain skirts here. This is great. I love this thing. Also a very good piece of gear. I have my little electronics bag. This just has my Anker 10,000 phone charger and some ports and cords and things. The only thing that's missing from here is my headphones, which are inside because I was using them this morning. But just everything I need electronics to charge my phone and do everything I want. Speaking of that, my phone is what I'm actually recording this with, so that would be in my pack as well, but that would be in my hip belt pocket. It wouldn't be in this bag. But electronics bag. Let's keep going to the sides. Oh, by the way, this is where I'd also keep my lunch and snacks in here. Let's keep going. Side pockets. On the side pocket, I have my Deuce trowel, nice ultralight trowel, and some baby wipes, wet wipes. I don't use toilet paper or anything like that. I pack out my wet wipes, and to help with that, I use some sticks and leaves and stuff like that, and then use a wet wipe, just one. I also have a little, I call my snot rag, but it's just a little piece of bandana that I've cut. I love it. Use it to blow my nose, but also to wipe some condensation off on our duplex tent. because it's single walled if we're sort of close to a creek or anything like that. That's great. Also with that, on that note, is something you won't see in my pack is our tent, and that's because my wife Ashley is actually going to be carrying our Z-Packs duplex, and so it's not in my pack, and I'll be carrying other things for her like the trowel and different other things. I'm carrying all the other group gear, including her sleeping pad. So in here I actually have 2 sleeping pads, one for me and one for my wife. Okay. And they're just the Zeep Thermarest Neo Airs. I think they're the X lights, and these are the torso lengths. And so it just sort of, for us being shorter, it's our head to our butt, which is actually perfect for us. And we use our packs and some close-up foam, which I'll talk about later and show you later, under our legs. But these are great for keeping us off the ground and nice and cozy. And I keep them in these little garbage bags or grocery bags. I also use these grocery bags as dry socks as well when my feet are getting wet and cold sometimes around camp. Also in here I have our steak bag. It's just a Z-Pack steak bag, and we have titanium shepherd hooks that we use. Work good. We've been using them for a while. This is love them. So no complaints there for these little guys, and they're light. Also in here we have I have my AWOL AT guide pages. I just carry the pages I need for the specific ration I'm doing. So this is ration 1 in here. Keep them in a little Ziploc baggie, keep them dry. With that though, I do have backup topo maps on my phone via the Gaia app. I think that's how you say it, Gaia. And so I have paper maps as well as online maps to back up both of those. All right, let's move to the hip belt pocket. In here are just my little knickknacks and doodads, hand sanitizer, little flashlight. This is the Through Night TI3 V2. I really like this thing. I haven't really used it too much other than around the house and testing it because it's pretty brand new. It actually came in a few days ago. But I like this over the other hat clip one I had before because this uses a AAA battery where the other one used like a hard to find watch, like a bigger watch battery style disc battery, and it was hard to find those batteries where these will be very easy to find AAA. I also have my little ditty bag here, a little zippy. It has my little mini Swiss Army knife in it, a mini Sharpie with some Luco tape for blisters wrapped around it, earplugs, and a mini deck of cards that I actually cut a full deck of cards down into where you only have the suit and the number, so they're a little small to play some cards, but it's still really light, so it doesn't add too much to my pack. And I actually really like this. We've had these in our pack for a while, and me and Ashley love playing cards at night, so that's good. And then last but not least, our water purification. This is a Betadine Providone. It's just 10% iodine solution. Now I can't really recommend this to everyone because actually right on the bottle it says not for internal use, but me and Ashley have been using it for years, and I used it even when I was in a guide out in Wyoming for years as well, and I haven't had any problems with it, and I've never gotten sick from bad water either, and I've had some nasty water. So 4 drops to a liter in your water bottle with this, and then wait 20 to 30 minutes. Way more simple in my opinion than squeezing and filtering and pumping or whatever else people do out there. I do love chemicals, and the Betadine Providone is only 10% iodine, and I feel like it tastes the best, or tastes the least out of all of the chemicals I've tried in water. So we keep that, and you can find it in pretty much any CVS, which is awesome, or Walgreens or drugstore. All right, let's go ahead and get into the pack here. Okay, so pull it up. First things first is my rain jacket. I like to keep this on top to be accessible. This is the Marmot Essence rain jacket. I really love this thing. It's really light, but still pretty durable. I also have camp shoes. I know some of you ultralighters out there don't like camp shoes, and I am one of those people actually when it comes to shorter trips. But when you can't get away from the rain like you are in the AT, camp shoes really come in handy so you can get your feet warm at camp, put on your nice socks without getting those wet, and have something dry to put under your feet while you're walking around in the mud at camp rather than just staying in your wet trail runners. Okay, next up, my cook system. So we are going to be cold soaking all of our meals, and so I use a little peanut butter jar to soak all of our stuff. It's really good. Again, I'm sort of a lazy hiker. I like hiking. I don't like doing everything else, and so this is pretty simple. I can just pour some beans or ramen or whatever in there, pour some water in, close it up, throw it back in the pack, and then keep hiking and let it rehydrate. Get to camp, set up the tent, and once the tent's set up, chow down. Done. All right, so that with my spoon is sort of my cook system. Love it. Other than that, just be eating bars and different things that are already in their own packaging. So this is all you need. But with that, I do bring a little 8-ounce water bottle. This is actually for coffee. I'll pour in my instant coffees. I love the Alpine Start instant coffees. Pour the instant coffee in, put some water in, close it, shake it up, and it's like a little coffee frappe without milk. Just instant coffee, but it's still bubbly and foamy, which is really good. So that's what I make coffee in. All right, let's keep going. All right, I have my little med kit ditty bag here. Toiletries ditty bag. All right, so inside of here, I have some toothpaste and a little bamboo toothbrush. I have a little bit of bug lotion, don't use too much of it, and when I do, it's actually usually on my clothes because this does have DEET in it, so around the collar and stuff like that, but I do like to keep some of it. Some ibuprofen and some allergy medication, and a sunscreen. I really like this deodorant bar style sunscreen, kind of nice. So that's sort of my little toiletry ditty bag that goes in there. Next up is my food bag. We have the Granite Gear zip sacks. I love these things. We used to have just the classic roll down ones, and they were not as good. You can get super accessible when it comes to all your foods in here. And you can grab whatever you want. So I love the zip sacks out here. Okay, let's get into clothing. So, pretty simple. Got some extra toe socks. Love those things. Some possum down gloves. Also great. This is an icebreaker midweight. And I also have like a little merino wool hiking beanie for those cold mornings. I have my camp socks. These are just acorn fleece socks. They keep my feet warm at camp as well as in my sleeping bag on those colder nights. Love those things. My feet do tend to be a little colder at night. Next up, this is a new addition to my pack. These are Apex synthetic insulated pants. They're super light. They're from Enlightened Equipment, and from just what I've used it so far, I really like this. And I think it's going to be a great addition for the winter sections, or colder sections of the AT. With that, I also have an Enlightened Equipment down hoodlum beanie. I use this because my sleeping quilt does not have a hood, so I use this at nights on those colder nights. And then for my upper body, I have a Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. Love this thing. I've had this. This is one of the oldest pieces of gear in my pack, and I've had it for a while, and I really like this thing. It's the old style, which actually is lighter than I think they've remade it a little heavier, not too much, but I really like this thing as well. All right, and then my sleeping bag. Now I call it a sleeping bag still because it does have a zipper. It's the Z-Packs 20 degree. It's the old style. Again, it's another one of the older pieces of gear in my pack, but still really warm. I would put it more into the 25 to 30 degree range at this point instead of the 20 like it says. But I really love the mixture between being a quilt and a sleeping bag. So it's sort of halfway in between. And so I really like that feature of it. And then last but not least, I have my little closed cell foam pad here. It's just like my pillow and sit pad, except for it's a little longer and bigger. And I put this under my legs with my pack, over my pack like that for nights. to keep my legs warm at night. Really love this thing, and I also use this as the frame of my pack, and I put it up against my back because my pack here doesn't have a frame, so it's pretty light, which is awesome. And so that's all the stuff in my pack. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you are going to tune in as we start hiking in 3 days, and keep following along as we head up to Maine. Thanks.